So, move on to what has now become one of my favorite parts of the week, which is your Bitcoin prediction. Because I came up here when we first started doing this, I started going with my charts with Bitcoin and these are the price and blah 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 blah. And then you've quickly shown me that I think you're right like 4 times out of 5, to the point where a couple of people in our Slack now are like, okay, Mike, where's your prediction? People, let us know what Mike's prediction is on Bitcoin. I don't want to be in this or not in this. And so I love to see what you actually think. Uh, if you think Bitcoin has a bias to the upside or the downside over the next month or so.
It's looking pretty good right now, right? Let me share my screen and we'll take a look at it. As always, I know we like to keep an eye on the global liquidity index, which has had a bit of a pullback as of late, but I don't think we're anywhere near overbought territory yet. And of course, we're kind of nicely winding up for a test of this overall resistance line that I've been paying attention to. So obviously, when we're looking for a reversal in a trend, one of the first things we want to look for is a higher low and a higher high, which we've now seen confirmation of both. Here's our second higher low and then a new higher high. But this higher high is the one that's up against this resistance line. So I'm expecting a break here at 69.1. And if we can push past that and start pushing past those previous rejection levels, that's obviously, what we're hoping for. So I think the next week is going to be kind of a telling week here. But it's pretty bullish at the moment. There's no question about that.
Do you see this sort of break that you're looking for? One, if I'm not mistaken, you want it to break above and then come to retest that trend line again, right?
Yeah, I mean, effectively, that would be a throwback, and that throwback that we're hoping for would help us confirm that the trend is heading in that direction. But at this point, having already seen the higher high and a higher low, those are pretty strong indicators of a continuation from here. Breaking the rejection line and having a nice close above it is really kind of what I'm hoping for. From there, though, obviously the ultimate test is breaking that all-time high of 74K. If we can break that, it's obviously a continuation from there. However, as always, and I've been trapped in these more than once, you'll come up against a new high and there's going to be some kind of pullback. What gets exciting is if it doesn't fully retrace like it did here back in February of 24 of this year, and it broke a new high and continued into a whole new range. That's happened several times with Bitcoin in the past, where it'll push up against a brand new high and then pull back for a little while and then eventually break that again. So it could be one of these things where we get priced where we'd like it to go, right into this $73,000, $74,000 range, and it feels like it's going to break, but it doesn't right away.
So is the idea here that the amount that it could go up would be equal to the length of the pole for the bull flag? So like it could go to 108 because that's the price move we got from the base. And actually not all the way to the base, but let's say the base from January 2022. Oh, sorry, January
December
2024.
of 2022. Yeah.
No, that would be too far. What about the one there at
January 24?
January. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in that case, I would look at this like a Fibonacci extension, in which point I would pull this as my low. This would be my high. And this is the low of the 3-point extension. So I would expect price to head to that 107 to 112 range from here before we find the completion of that move.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was thinking as well. So then calls then on Bitcoin miners and and MicroStrategies and all that. Like, it seems to me like what you want, what I've been doing in a crypto account is just I've been at 50x leverage for a while now, just writing it up because I just go, well, the chart is telling me it's gonna rocket. And since the recent low, I mean, that's what I've been doing, just long Bitcoin and on every dip adding to it. And that move up, let's say we get a move like that up to 100,000. I mean, that could be bank if you're just in it at the right times. Whether you're doing that prop firms, whether you're doing that options, whether you're doing with leverage, whatever it is. Like when you see something like this, are you like licking your chops, going, "Okay, now's the time to really pile on risk once I get my confirmation signal," or is it straight buy and hold?
Maybe. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be spot Bitcoin. I'll be more interested in Bitcoin futures. And I think Bitcoin options are interesting, but I haven't quite found a venue that I trust yet on that.
I see. Okay. All right. This is Mike, do your own research. Christensen doesn't want to tell me to go ahead and buy and put it in. I'm refinancing my home in order to get into this, Mike. So all you can do is help me. I'm taking the
Is
bet.
that
So just
is
help
that
me
what you're
out.
looking for? You want the Tom? Now's the time to basically sell everything you own, sell the kids, sell the house.
That's right. Exactly. I need someone to blame other than myself. That's all I'm looking for. I'll never hold it against you.
don't pull me into that. I don't want nothing to do with that.
We've also been seeing with Bitcoin, the interesting thing to me has been so I've been doing this bet where I'm expecting the dollar to fall. Like, I'm not really seeing the situation where um Bitcoin breaks out to new all-time highs and the dollar still rises up. In fact, if that happens, that's really bad news. That's bad. That's like Bitcoin is safe haven territory. The dollar is safe haven territory. Gold is safe haven territory. You want to be very careful if that occurs. So I'm expecting the dollar to fall. So let me just pull up my chart here for a second. And so I've been waiting for this move, and the dollar has gotten right to the level I would expect. Give me 1 second for the chart to load. This dollar has gotten into resistance over here. So this shows up. Oh, there we go. So I've been waiting for. So we had this bounce at this long-term trend, which it happens with the dollar again and again at this level. It bounced up way higher than I thought it might. I mean, not that much higher than I thought it might, but I thought it would stay between this yellow area and then fall down. But at the utmost, I thought literally at this level over here is where the price could go. And so I'm expecting now that this is as high as the dollar goes and we're headed lower. What's the trade for that? Well, I'm long euro dollar, right? Since the euro is like, what is it, 70% of the DXY is the euro. So that's what I'm betting on. So this trend on the euro is what I'm headed towards. So I'm expecting the euro to move up dramatically.
Interestingly enough, look at that basic trend structure there. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And now you're seeing a base of support there. Yeah, it's an interesting play. That said, I guess the move would line up with Bitcoin as well, as we see dollar pull back. That usually has positive impact on Bitcoin's price.
Yeah, so if we get that here and we get the euro up to here, that's many pips of profit on that one. That could be pretty significant without a huge amount down.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty interested in that. And so to me, it's like I'm using prop firms in order to make this trade, and I don't care how many prop firms I blow up, because at some point this oscillation is gonna move in my direction, and even if I move up to this high over here, that's still a significant gain that can make someone's year on that.
Love
All
it.
right, so those are the trades we're looking at. That's about it. I did want to touch on Tesla and stuff like that, but we talked about Tesla so much last week. Let's just leave it to the side if you don't mind. I was expecting the. Sorry, go ahead.
Out of curiosity, is the euro play one you're doing in FTMO?
Exactly. So I'm doing because the crypto wasn't giving me. I was making more on the 50x leverage on the crypto exchange than I was in the prop firm account. So I was like, oh, what's the way I can express the same idea but higher leverage? Mm-hmm. I love leverage. I don't care about blowing out accounts. So I'll just keep buying new ones. And so the Euro play was the best one. I looked at different setups. Like, you can do. I might have been interested in doing calls on gold, but I have to do that on my personal account. You have to put so much money down on it, and then you have to watch the theta decay. Let me just pay challenge fees and make it that way. And plus, the way I'm trading this right now is just I'm just learning more about my trading style, and especially incorporating the VWAP strategies that you've really gotten me on, and it's great practice for that. So that's what I'm paying attention to.
Got it. Yeah, I'm also trying to avoid the phrase blowing out my prop firm accounts, because you're not quite blowing out accounts, are you? It's a little different. You're really paying the premium. You're paying the fees, if you will. So on one hand, you pay a fee to use the prop firm account, but the funds are never lost because they're not real in the first place, right?
That's right.
And you're never actually losing that money. It's one of the things that I find most interesting about trading prop firm accounts is this idea that there's just a different risk reward proposition. If you pay the fee and you're successful in it, you'll be paid a proportional share of your profits in that account, which is obviously significantly more than the cost of the account was, assuming that you're able to hit your profit targets within a short period of time. On the flip side, if you lost some theoretical amount in a $50,000 account, let's call it $3,000, that's not $3,000 gone in your account from you. You only really lost $150 or so, or whatever the cost of the account was. I like that risk reward proposition. Risk $150 to make a couple $1,000s. That's a pretty good play in my mind.
That's right. It really feels like an option to me.
Yeah,
And I've already long ago felt perfectly comfortable that when I buy an option, that money is gone.
that's right.
I'm
Yeah,
never
you see
thinking
it as
about
the
what I
cost of
could.
the
That's
insurance
right.
payoff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.